There's been this massive boom in sleep content on YouTube lately. Channels are literally branding themselves as "fall asleep to this." You'll see 8-hour-long YouTube videos for sleep with rain sounds, true crime narrations, or random documentaries. And these videos are pulling millions of views every single night. And what's wild is how many comments are filled with people saying they literally cannot fall asleep anymore without something playing. So it makes you wonder, is this just a modern thing, or have humans always needed some kind of stimulus to sleep? There's actually some fascinating psychology behind why people need something playing to wind down, and it goes deeper than just distraction. So what's really going on? Thought escape. We've all had that experience where you turn off everything, lie down in perfect silence, and suddenly your brain decides this is the ideal time to replay that slightly awkward thing you said at lunch, or remind you about the dentist appointment you need to make, or ask you if you locked the front door even though you definitely did, or replay an argument from 3 days ago in 12 different variations where you say the perfect thing. Now, the silence doesn't feel peaceful anymore. It feels like someone turned up the volume on your thoughts, and now you can hear every single one of them competing for attention. So people who can't sleep without YouTube have figured out that if they give their brains something else to focus on, the spiral stops, or at least gets interrupted long enough for sleep to sneak in. So you reach for your phone, you open YouTube, and immediately you find a video of someone talking about the history of the Roman Empire for 3 hours, and just like that, the noise inside your head gets quieter because there's noise outside of it now. We've gotten so used to constant input, constant stimulation, constant something happening, that actual silence feels unnatural, almost wrong, like a gap that needs to be filled immediately. And YouTube becomes this escape hatch, this thing you reach for not because you want to watch it, but because you need to not think. And that's a very different kind of need. Voice craving. People who need YouTube to sleep aren't just looking for noise, they're looking for a voice, a human presence, someone talking in a way that feels like they're talking to you, even though they're not. We're social creatures who evolved to sleep in groups, to feel safe when we could hear other people nearby. And now we're sleeping alone in silent rooms and our brains are like, this doesn't feel right. Where is everyone? So you open YouTube and you find someone with a calm voice, someone who sounds friendly and knowledgeable and like they wouldn't judge you for falling asleep while they're talking, and suddenly your nervous system relaxes because it thinks you're not alone anymore. I noticed some time ago that one of the most popular sleep channels has videos titled things like, "Let's talk while you fall asleep." And the comments are full of people saying things like, "You're the only reason I can sleep anymore," or "Your voice makes me feel safe." And honestly, that's beautiful and sad at the same time, because it means there are millions of people who feel so alone, so disconnected, that they need a stranger's voice from YouTube to feel safe enough to close their eyes. Pattern lock. People who need YouTube to sleep have turned it into such an automatic ritual that you don't even think about it anymore. It's just part of your routine now. Brush teeth, change clothes, get in bed, open YouTube, and the idea of skipping any step in that sequence feels wrong. And that's because we're creatures of habit who crave routine, especially around sleep. And once YouTube becomes part of that routine, that's when you know it's moved from preference to dependency. Even if you've tried to stop, tried to sleep in silence or just with a fan or some other normal method, you'll notice that within 10 minutes you're reaching for your phone again, because your brain has been trained to associate sleep with that specific input. I talked to someone some time ago who said they can't even nap during the day without putting on a video first, like their brain refuses to believe rest is possible unless YouTube is involved. The psychology of habit formation is wild like this. Our brains are lazy, they love shortcuts, and once they figure out that YouTube equals sleep, they stop even trying to fall asleep without it. You probably don't even remember deciding to start doing this. It just happened gradually. One night you fell asleep with a video playing, it worked, you did it again, and now here you are months or years later, unable to imagine sleeping any other way. Perfect video. People who can't sleep without YouTube playing usually have a criteria for what makes a video sleepable. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It can't be too interesting, or you'll stay awake paying attention. Can't be too boring, or your brain will wander back to your own thoughts. Can't have music that's too dramatic, or sudden sound effects, or anyone yelling. And the person's voice has to hit this perfect middle ground between engaging and monotonous. I've seen people describe their perfect sleep video like they're describing a romantic partner. Calm but not robotic, interesting but not too interesting, long enough that I don't wake up when it ends, familiar enough that I don't have to think about what's happening. And the thing is, once you find that perfect video, you watch it over and over, sometimes every single night for months until you've basically memorized it, but it still works because the memorization is part of what makes it work. And there you have it. When you finally drift off tonight and the YouTube video continues to play to an empty room, remember that this habit isn't a personality flaw. You do it because it's easier to listen to a stranger talk than to listen to yourself think. So the question isn't whether you should stop using YouTube to sleep, because honestly, if it's working for you and you're sleeping okay and it's not causing other problems, then who cares? Do what works. You don't have to stop using YouTube to sleep, but you should probably make sure you still can sleep without it. Try it once, just once. Turn everything off and see what happens. Because the moment you can't, that's when a habit becomes a trap, and most people don't even realize they're in one until they try to leave.